Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I would like to share with you my Tarot de Marseille collection. Now obviously it's not a collection, I don't have a lot of Tarot de Marseille because I have a minimalistic lifestyle and I think it is not necessary to purchase a lot of decks. Now obviously I would like to have more Tarot de Marseille decks, and I'm really excited about many decks out there, but I think that we are usually excited for some period of time and then we don't use the decks and we don't need them. So I advise to just have the decks that you really like. So those are actually my favorite Tarot de Marseille. And as you can see, I have the CBD Tarot de Marseille by Dr. Yoav Bendov. This is my main Tarot de Marseille. I work a lot with this deck. This is an inspirational deck for me that inspired me to actually write my ebook. I also have the Ancient Tarot de Marseille. This is a very interesting deck and it is also very beautiful. Here I have the Ancient Italian Tarot, which I think is the most beautiful deck of Tarot de Marseille. It has the best illustrations. And as you can see, the Jean Noblet Tarot de Marseille. This is a classic. I think it's a must-have. This is also a very inspirational deck that I really like. So I would actually like to purchase also the Alejandro Jodorowsky's Tarot de Marseille. This is also something that I'm interested in, and other than that, this is enough for me. I think it is even too much. So I don't use those decks. I used that deck for some time, but although I find the Ancient Italian Tarot the most beautiful, I did not really use it a lot. And I only use the CBD Tarot de Marseille by Dr. Yoav Bendov. So I want to show you actually the cards. You're probably already familiar with this deck. I have a review on my channel. I have reviews to all of those decks. If you want to watch, you can watch. So basically this is the CBD Tarot de Marseille. This is my favorite one. It's what inspired me. To be honest, I think this is the most correct Tarot de Marseille. It's just really correct in a mystical, occultic way. So this is the cards. The back is a bit boring in my opinion. I don't really like that typical paper and that back, but it does not matter because the cards are absolutely great. So the paper is actually not really thick. It is easy to shuffle. And it is just a wonderful deck, really. Just a great deck to have. It is correct. It is wonderful. The size is very standard. It is convenient. It is not too big, not too small. So this is a wonderful deck. I will also suggest for beginners to purchase that deck if you want to dive into Tarot de Marseille. It is very workable and great deck. Of course, you also have a companion book of Dr. Yoav Bendov. You can also purchase that. So now let's go to the Ancient Tarot de Marseille. This is a very beautiful deck. I like the box, by the way, because it is thicker than the CBD Tarot de Marseille. You see, this box is actually going to die soon, and I need to replace it. And this is a very firm box. So So as you can see, this deck is also having the classic pattern at the back. Again, it's not my favorite, but this is a classic pattern. And we have the cards themselves. What I like about this deck is that the paper is very thick, which I really like. I always prefer a thicker paper because it is more valuable in my opinion. It is more powerful. It will not, destroy itself. But what I don't like about this deck is the blue coloring of the deck. Although it can be very interesting, but in my opinion it is just too overwhelming, and I just don't understand what is the reason behind that. You see also the color of the hair of the characters is white. I mean, the color association here is pretty, in my opinion, not correct. It can be a bit misleading. So, I mean, it is very beautiful. This is the reason that I actually purchased the deck, because I thought, oh, it's very interesting that it's blue. But in reality, when you are working with the deck, it can be a bit misleading. But again, everyone and his taste, everyone what he likes. So, I have already like a review about this deck. And there is something also that I did not like about here is the coins. The coins have a lot of blue, you see, blue tint, and like it's not really a color that is associated with coins. I don't like the blue color here. I don't like that this is white. It seems like something is wrong with this deck. Although it's beautiful, but it is a bit weird, in my opinion. So if you want to watch a review and if you want to see, all the cards, you can watch on my channel. So here we have the Queen of Coins with a blue hair and the Queen of Swords with white hair. Again, white hair, a bit weird, but very beautiful deck. I think this deck is very comfortable. I like how it shuffles. I like the thickness of the deck. But other than that, I don't think that it's a workable deck. I mean, of course you can work with this, but it's just, in my opinion, the emphasis on the blue color is too much. So now let's go to the Ancient Italian Tarot, which is the most beautiful Tarot de Marseille deck. And this is actually, Italian deck. This is so beautiful, the illustrations are amazing. This is by Lo Scarabeo, I think. Yes. So this is the back. And this is the back of the cards. Very beautiful and interesting. Guys, I hope this video will come out perfectly normal, because I have this problem with my table and my camera angle, but there is nothing I can do right now about this. Now look at the illustrations. Those illustrations are my favorite. I think this deck is just absolutely beautiful. If you master the art of Tarot de Marseille, you absolutely can work with this deck. There is no problems at all. The characters are amazing. They are one of my favorites. I really like them. I mean, for me, this deck, the CBD and the Classical Tarot de Marseille, this is more of a symbol deck, symbolism. Everything has symbolism here. The illustration is very, very symbolic. But here we have, more of a realistic illustration, which makes it more beautiful. And it really looks like playing cards. I don't know if you remember, but when I was a child, I used to have some playing cards, and they have a very similar characters. It was, I think, a French deck, something like that, I don't remember. Look at the beautiful queens, the Empress. This is one of my favorites. You see the difference? This is more of a symbolic deck, and here we have already a beautiful illustration. You can work with both of decks, but if you're a beginner, I will highly suggest for you to start with the classic symbolic decks, with this one, and then you can work with that deck. But you can do whatever you want. I'm just giving my suggestion. You see how beautiful this deck is. I like that they have different hair color, and they're very realistic, just amazing, really. Again, I have a review about this deck. You can watch it if you want. So this is absolutely one of my favorites. So unfortunately, my screen of the camera died, and I will have to maneuver my way. So this is the Jean Noblet Tarot. Amazing deck. I hope you can see this. Guys, I don't know what I'm doing because I don't have a screen. This is actually a great deck to have. This is the back of the cards. It's very, very pointy. This is the only thing that I don't like about this deck. But what I really like is the thickness of the cards. And I also like that it's not white, that it's, this creamy color. Absolutely amazing deck. This deck is just fantastic to work with. It's classic. It is symbolic, just amazing. You can actually take this deck for traveling because it's small. Also, the size is great. You can shuffle it just perfectly, but it's a bit, thick when it's together, but still, it is just a great deck. So the characters are more melancholic in this deck, as you can see. They are more like suffering. In the CBD Tarot de Marseille, the characters have more of a pleasant face. You see, like they're a bit smiling, so it will not be so, dramatic. But here we have depressed characters. They're very depressed. But again, this is a symbolic deck, wonderful deck for beginners. By the way, this is classic, this is great, this is accurate. I absolutely love this deck. It's working fantastic. It's working great. Never had problems with this deck. It is also very inspirational deck for me. Like, see the difference. They're both very symbolic and both are very good and pretty. Here the figure is more masculine, in my opinion. You see, they're very sad and suffering, in my opinion. So overall, great deck, honestly, great for work, very beautiful. I hope you saw what I showed to you. I wish it did not had these pointed corners because it is a bit overwhelming. It's not comfortable. So anyways, those are my 4 Tarot de Marseille decks. I don't have more decks. I don't think that I need them. And honestly, I'm working with only CBD Tarot de Marseille. This is my main deck. I actually regret that I purchased that deck, the Ancient Tarot de Marseille, because I don't use it at all. I find it to be very interesting and nice, but I don't really use it. I don't really need it. And if I will use definitely that deck. I use that and also this one. So anyways, what are your thoughts about Tarot de Marseille? Do you have Tarot de Marseille? What is your favorite Tarot de Marseille deck? Maybe you can introduce me to more interesting Tarot de Marseille. And basically that's it. Thank you for watching. I also want to remind you, if you're interested in downloading my ebook, you have the link down below. My book is called Another Way for Tarot de Marseille, which was highly inspired from the CBD Tarot de Marseille deck. So see you in my next videos.